Hello everyone, my name is Shyam and I welcome all of you once again in the series of Maxima Minima. That means we are finding the maximum value of the given expression or function or the minimum value of the given expression or function along with its maxima and minima. In the previous question we have in the previous lecture we have discussed what is maxima? The value of x for which the function shows maximum value. What is minima? The value of x for which function shows maximum value here, right? So minima, maxima, minima, which we need to understand. Yeah, maxima is for the value of x for which function shows maximum value. Minima is value of x for which function shows minimum value. This is what we have discussed in the previous lecture. Now, in today's lecture, we are going to find the maxima, minima of minimum and maximum function. If you remember the last lecture of the previous series, the last class of previous series, maxima, minima, max mean function, graph of max mean function. If you remember that, today we are going to discuss of the same graph, but instead of discussing graph, we'll only talk about maxima and minima of mean max function. Okay, so let's try to understand max mean function once again. So if you have any function like this, max of x minus 1 and 5, comma 5 minus 2x, we find the maximum value of y and we mark only that one. Let's take the reference of the graph. Here, for y equal to max of this, we got this graph. Y equal to mean of this, we got this graph, right? Remember? If not, then please go through that graph topic because without understanding that, it will be difficult to understand today's lecture. So please, if you have not gone through that, please go through it. And if you've gone through that, you will understand this faster. So if you have any, let's say, minimum function, I'm not writing the expression right now, but let's say you got a minimum function. So the graph of this minimum function will be downwards. This is what we have discussed in the graph lecture of max mean function. And if you have a maximum function, again, for some expression, which I'm not writing right now, but it will always show you the maximum values. That means it will go upward, right? Like this. Now, what you need to understand, if you see this on XY plane, if you see this thing on XY plane here, you can see that with increasing value of x, ऐसा होता है ना? If you go towards right side, the value of x increases. With increase of value of x, how is this function changing the value of y? So with increasing in the value of x this side, the y value here is increasing up till the intersection point, the common value of these two lines, and then the y value again start decreasing. You can see start decreasing, right? Starts decreasing, start decreasing. So what is happening here? It means the value of function or the value of y, value of the function or the value of y is one of the same thing. It reaches to the stop level and then again start decreasing. It means for a minimum function or for a mean function, you can find maximum value of the function or the dependent variable y, because minimum function it's going towards down, right? It's going downwards. It's going downwards. That means minimum value of y can be up till minus infinite. Don't you think? It will keep going down. So value of the value of y or f of x can go up till minus infinite. So to find minimum value of mean function is not possible, but to find maximum value of mean function is possible. Okay, so you can find maximum value of this. That means, let me conclude this here. आप इस बात को फिर से सोचना. What I'm trying to say is, it is possible to find maximum value of minimum function, mean function. Okay. And similarly, if you see this here, and let me have XY plane again for this. Here again, you can see it is possible to find minimum value because after that minimum point, it again start increasing. The value of y, अब y के ऊपर focus करो. Value of y for all these points, value of y, it will again start increasing. It will again start increasing, right? For these on this graph, on this path, after touching a minimum point. So maximum function जो upward होगा, maximum function which is going upward, it will go to a minimum point, a minimum defined point, and again it start increasing. And till which value it can increase? It can increase up to plus infinite, right? So infinite is not defined. इसलिए हम लोग बोल रहे हैं for this max function, you have a defined minimum value. For minimum function, you have a defined maximum value after which start decreasing. Okay, so हमें याद रखना है कि it is possible to find maximum value of mean function, and similarly here we can say it is possible to find minimum value of maximum function, max function. Okay, so don't get confused because this is how you'll get a question in exam. You can see here, this is maximum value, maximum function, and you need to find minimum value. This is minimum function, you need to find maximum value. This is minimum function, you need to find maximum value. Okay, that's how you see in the exam. So don't get confused that. I think if function is maximum, then how can we find minimum value? तो इसका तो maximum value होना चाहिए. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है, उल्टा होता है. ओके, मैक्सिमम फंक्शन का आप मिनिमम वैल्यू निकाल सकते हो और मिनिमम फंक्शन का मैक्सिमम वैल्यू डिफाइन निकाल सकते हो. अच्छा, ये जो मिनिमम फंक्शन का मैक्सिमम वैल्यू है, दिस मैक्सिमम वैल्यू ऑफ दिस मिनिमम फंक्शन, ये क्या है? ये अगर आपको याद हो, इफ यू रिमेंबर द ग्राफ, दिस the turning point, the point after which the function is discontinuing. This point is nothing but the common point between the expression given there. Remember how we have discussed how to find the intersection point. ये P हमने कैसे find किया था? You remember? To find intersection point, we make both expressions equal. ये क्या है expression? 2x plus 3 equal to 7 minus x. ये कहाँ से आया? If you see the question, कहाँ गया question? Yeah, 2x plus 3 and 7 minus x. So if you put both of them equal, you will get that point after which the graph changes. The graph changes the slope, the direction. Yeah. So to find that intersection point or common point, we equate this given expression inside. We equate the given expressions inside. Yeah. So ये graph को ध्यान रखिए. So you can see this here. If you understand the graph well, things are easy. For many other chapters, the graphs have many other applications. So please go through those 9 lectures of concept builders of graph. Please go through that. चलो यहाँ पे शुरू करते हैं. So if I want to find out, if you know the graph, if I have to find out the minimum value of this max function, मैं सीधा बोल सकता हूँ कि यार minimum value of maximum function ये तब possible है when both expressions are equal. So this I can say only when I understand the graph well. Okay, so solution ध्यान से समझना. Solution: to find minimum value of max function, keep the expressions equal. Okay, you need to find the minimum value of y. Keep in mind, you need to find the minimum value. You don't have to find minima. You need to find minimum. फिर से minima is value of x. Minimum is value of y or f of x. Yeah. Maxima is value of x. Maximum is value of y. Okay, इसमें confusion नहीं होना चाहिए. So we need to find out minimum for this question. Okay, so before that, we'll see that this is a max function, and the characteristics of the max function is it shows minimum value when both expressions are having a common point. Okay, and to find that common point or intersection point, we make these expressions equal and find the value of x. So I have this here, this is 3x, and this is 6. So x is equal to 2. And for x is equal to 2, अच्छा x equal to 2 क्या होगा बताओ? X equal to क्या होगा? X equal to 2 for this particular equation or function is minima. This is what? Minima. Value of x for which the function shows minimum value is called minima. Value of x for which the function shows minimum value is minima. Clear? Now इस minima को यहाँ पे substitute करो expression में, जो equation given है, sorry, equation में, so you will get minimum. Yeah, so I can say y equal to max of max लिखने की जरूरत ही नहीं है because we got this x equal to 2 only when these two expressions are equal, so they are supposed to give you equal value, right? चलो check कर लेते हैं. So if you substitute x is equal to 2 in the first expression, you get what? 2 minus 1, which is 1, and second is 5 minus 4, so again 1. So when both of them are equal, max value क्या होगा? Same ही होगा. So y equal to what? 1 is what? Minimum. Okay, so again, I'm not going in depth of explaining this because you should be able to connect the dots. Come on, guys, future managers, future engineers, please understand. You should be able to connect the dots. Remember the graph, maximum function, minimum point पे जाके increase होगा. So that minimum point, which is the intersection point, is the place where you get minima and maxima. So minima and minimum, right? And that intersection point you can find only when you equate this given expressions, when they show same value, correct? Common value. Okay, clear here? What difficult to नहीं है? Okay, let's try this again. If y minimum function का max, और इसको आप thumb rule भी बना सकते हो. If you want to find out minimum value of max function, equate both expression, get the common value of y, sorry, get the common value of x and substitute that into the equation and get the value of y. Simple. Same thing, if you need to find out maximum value of mean function, process is same. Make this expressions equal. X plus x minus 2 equal to 2x minus 6. So what do you get here? If I take x this side, so 2x minus x is x, and 6 to the other side, this is minus 2 plus 6 is going to be 4. So x is equal to 4. What is that? This is maxima. Okay. Now this again will substitute. Concept समझना है यार, देखो by heart नहीं करना है, concept समझना है. Yeah, why this is happening, you need to understand the concept. If you substitute x is equal to 4 here, what you get is 4 minus 2, and 4 into 2 is 8 minus 6. It's supposed to be same. It can't be different because that's how we got the value of x, for which the expression should give you same value. Yeah. So the value of y we can say ultimately is what? 2. And this is what? Maximum. Maximum. Don't get confused with the words. If question said find the maxima of the given equation or given function, that should be the value of x. If question says find the maximum of the given equation or function, then it should be value of y. Okay. One more. Let's do this. Let's do this. And this is beautiful. Here you got square terms. But will it change the method? No, it will be same. If you need to find out maximum value of min function, again, the expression should give you equal value. So I can say x square minus 4x should be equal to 6x minus x square. Okay. Now, if you shift aside, you get x square plus x square will be 2x square. And this also, let's shift to the other side. 6x will be minus, so it will be minus 10x. Okay. Equal to 0. Right? I can divide this by 2 and then say what? X square minus 5x equal to 0. Yeah. Now I can take x common and say what? It's a square term. It's supposed to give you two roots, right? So simplify like that. So you have x minus 5 equal to 0. Accordingly, you get x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 5. Yeah. People who are fast at solving the quadratic equation, I'm sure you don't have to write all these three steps. You will directly come to this x equal to 0 and x equal to 5. Well, because they are square term, it is possible that they may intersect at 2 points. देखो graph कैसा बनेगा? Connect points. Now think about the graph of quadratic equation. Think about it. पहला expression कैसा है? X square minus 4x. The coefficient of x square is positive. The graph is supposed to be parabola and upward because a is positive. Remember? Second expression क्या है बताओ? 6x minus x square. The coefficient of a square term is negative. The graph is supposed to be down. So if it is going down, it is possible that it may go down like this. Possible. Possible है. ये single point पे भी touch कर सकता है, दो point पे भी touch कर सकता है. So it is possible to intersect, to have two intersection points for a point in this particular condition. And we got two intersection points here, right? So we got one here and other here. मतलब कैसा दिखेगा? This is mean function, right? तो graph अगर आप plot करोगे, I'm not plotting this on the scale, but if you plot the graph, it should look like what? यहाँ से इस point से नीचे तरफ जा रहा है. Okay, फिर यहाँ से इस point से इस point तक minimum लेना है. So you got this path as well as this path. So the minimum path is what? Which is going from the downwards. So ये आपका हो गया mean path. This is mean function, right? Okay, and then again it's going down here. Clear? Yes. So the final graph we should get is like this. Yes, this is how you get the final graph. Yep. But well, we are not here in this lecture. We are not learning the graph. So please don't worry. But this I'm explaining just for you guys to have an idea. कि ऐसा हो सकता है. X is equal to 0 in this. So it may be something like, sorry, once more. Sorry. Pause, pause. Sort of pause. Continue. So it may be like mm, this. For 0, 0, so it should be like this. Okay. Y and X. Yeah, this is just to show you in case if you want to understand the graph, but we don't have to get into the graph for to solve this question. It's not necessary. So far, so good. So we have got minima here, your maxima here. So we got two maxima as well. Because for these two values, the function is going to show maximum. देखते हैं maximum क्या होगा उसमें से. So if I substitute x is equal to 0 in the given equation, y equal to mean of substitute 0, it will be 0 comma 0. So output is what? 0. And if I substitute 5, then it is minimum. Of course, the values will be same, but we are still substituting that. We are still substituting this here. X is equal to 5 in this function. So x will to 5 if you get. So 5 square, first will be 5 square minus 4 into 5, which is 20. So 5 square minus 20, 5 square is 25. This should be 5. Similarly, the other one will also be equal to 5. So the outcome is what? 5. Yeah. So you got maximum value of y as 5 for x is equal to 5. So x is equal to 5 is your maxima, and for this you get y equal to 5. This become your maximum. Yeah, because the graph cannot have a value more than 5. Graph cannot have a value for y coordinate more than 5, and the y coordinate is maximum. तो y coordinate पे अगर ध्यान दें, y coordinate 5 से ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. Y coordinate will cannot have value more than 5, and the value of y is maximum value of y is called maximum in this context, right? सोचो उसको फिर से देखो. You can revise this part. I'm sure you will understand. Not very difficult. Okay? And remember the thumb rule, which I'm not repeating now. You need to remember when did I mention the thumb rule in this particular lecture. All right. So this is it in today's lecture. We understood the maximum and minimum, or maxima and minima of the mean max function in this particular lecture. So this is it in today's lecture. My name is Shyam, Manavat signing off. I will see you in the next lecture. Stay tuned. In next lecture, we are going to discuss some very interesting facts of numbers in terms of maxima minima. Okay, so I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy, and keep learning.